Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. Yay! All right, so if today you're seeing me for the first time, thank you so much for being here. I mean, it's not every day that you can stumble on all this fabulousness. And if you're already subscribed to this channel, I mean, you are the real MVP. I mean, you are the one that, we need to be saluting every day. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, today's video, of course, you guys know that my channel is a lot about relationships, fashion, and lots of other things. Today's video we're going to be talking about a subject that hits close to home for me in a lot of ways. I have lived it, I have seen it, I'm still seeing it, and sometimes it's so hard when you're seeing something going on around you. You're like, how do I put a stop to this? How do I make this make sense? Okay. And sometimes, and in life, and especially when it involves people we love or in relationships, it's always very difficult to make one party see sense. If you guys understand what I mean. Okay, so anyway, enough of me blabbing. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the types of men you need to be keeping away from. And hello, yes, are you people hearing me? Yes. And I'm going to give a big shout out to all the sisters in the house who have figured it out, and to those of you trying to figure it out still, don't worry, you're going to get there. As long as you've already begun to make the effort to figure it out, you're going to get there. You're going to figure it out. Okay, so today our video is going to be concerned with the types of men we cannot be caught with. In fact, the type of men we need to avoid. Now, for me, I'm going to be talking about very particular ones. So I'm not going to be going into a lot of things. Maybe as time goes on and maybe as we, progress, I'll be able to delve into other types because, human beings change, they evolve. And there's some people that are born with certain characteristics. Is afraid. Yes, you need to be afraid. Anywho, okay, so the first on my list, you guys, I'm sorry, but the first on my list has to be stingy men. And when I talk about stingy men, I'm not just talking about those ones that, because the thing about men who are stingy is that they are not stingy to themselves. They are stingy to you, the babes. I've seen, and there's a level of manipulation that comes with this, you guys. I'm sorry. There is a level of manipulation that comes with this, with men who are stingy. They automatically, for a lot of things that they want and they like, they are ready to do and go the extra mile for it. It could be what they want to wear. It could be their house. It could be their cars. Things that they really, 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 really adore. But when it comes to you as the woman, they will ask you how much. So let's say, for example, you want to do your hair. I mean, as women, our hair is like, this hair got to be done. So let's take, for instance, you want to do your hair. And this guy is like, akagom. So you want to do your hair. The first thing, some of the things you're going to be hearing is, so how much does this hair cost? Why can't you go to somewhere cheaper? I mean, is there another type of hair you can use? Don't we have cheaper brands? And you see, when they're asking these kind of questions, it's pretty embarrassing because, in life we move, we grow. I mean, the kind of hair you used to use when you were in, primary school, it's not the kind of hair you'll be using while you're in university or something. I mean, there's a level to things. But this is somebody on his own, like, oh, it's not just hair, Flip the switch just for a moment and say, okay, fine. Bobo is looking to buy a car. And it's not just any car. I mean, let's say it's the latest Jaguar or something. You will see him, he will bring out the money without looking back. But your hair, that hair is not up to 10% of that car. He ain't going to bring out that money. You need to be also, there's another thing they do. They are in a hurry to always get things started. But get this, when it's actually time to get the ball rolling, the next thing you hear is, do you have the money? Don't worry, later I'll give it back to you. Do you have the money? I'm a little bit short on cash right now, and later, as time goes on, I'll. And the thing about it is that women, hey God, we have suffered. We have suffered. Oh, I want to see we have suffered. A lot of us do this. We fall into this trap because already, juices have started exchanging. And at the time those juices are beginning to exchange, sense will just be floating, it won't be correct at the time. And this is where they get you, because by the time you carry out that money, I've been in that trap before. I've been in that trap before. And it was not funny because it took me a while to understand what was going on. I was like, sure, money is, you check, it's my money. You've been using your cash all this while. And anytime it comes to you, it's pittance. Or in a situation where it brings a little bit. So, for example, you go to a restaurant, like, I only have like $30. But you have, can you, pay up the rest, and then later I'll give you, what I owe you. And on and on and on and on and on. I'm laughing now because, it's funny now. But, it's as open as daylight, So that's number one, Stingy Boys Association. We got to get away from them. Number two, I wrote them down, so please, they are really scattered, So it's going to be, number two is manipulative men. We're going to be keeping away from manipulative boys, men. And for me, one of the things I'm sorry, to the men folks there who are actually doing it. But, when I hear or see people or understand people with this kind of characteristics, I don't call them men anymore. I call them boys. I'm sorry. So a manipulative person. Now, in this sense, this one is pretty dangerous because they gaslight you. A manipulative man will gaslight you. You will begin to ask yourself, what happened? You will definitely keep on asking yourself that question. You will doubt yourself. You will be removed from whom you are. Manipulative people also fall. I also talked about it in a video. I talked about the kind of men who, I'm going to put it here. I hope I remember the name of that video. Talked about the ride or die relationship and toxic. I have a video of that. The ride or die relationship, form of relationship, and toxicity in relationships. I'm going to put both of them in this video. And again, the thing about manipulative men is it's dangerous because they go into your head. And it could be that bad because, before you understand what's going on, abuse has set in. Emotional abuse has set in because, yes, they will manipulate you emotionally. You will doubt yourself to a very large extent. You know that this thing, you're like, I can do this. But they will make you understand that thing you're doing is not worth it. Now, every other person to them that comes towards you, he's going to be always on the defensive about them. There is always going to be something about those people who are around you that does not sit well with this person, with this guy. Manipulative men, again, like I said, it's a pretty dangerous one, and it's not easy to spot, They're not easy to spot. Just give me a second. I'm just looking through my notes. They're not easy to spot, and it's very, very, it's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Again, like I said, it falls under the same category of the previous video I did, They gaslight you, they are manipulative, you doubt yourself. It goes, before you know what's happening, you are into emotional and physical and probably psychological abuse. And it could go on and on and on and on and on, to the point of danger. So when it comes to this type of people, it's that, and that's why I always, I tell ladies and women, there's nothing wrong with taking your time. There's nothing wrong with going slow, because nothing is hidden under the sun for too long. Number one. Two, a man, it's just what it is. When someone cannot hide that much of their character for too long. And, sometimes it also, you begin to ask yourself, the question is, why would a guy, who meets you and says he really likes you, truthfully, he will not be a guy who really likes you and wants to really get to know you, will never be in a hurry to, get down with you. I mean, when I say get down with that sex, he will not be in a hurry to get down with you sexually. So, because one of the things that comes into play in some of these situations is once sex becomes involved, again, juices have begun to mix. It's usually very difficult to see things clearly. It's usually very hard, So, again, I will always voice my concern that, no, sex ain't bad. No, I encourage it, please. But what I'm just saying is, nothing is wrong with taking your time, with this person or with, because, I mean, people are funny out there. Okay? Right. That's number two, manipulative men. Number three, this one, like it or not, they exist. The mommy's boy. And there is nothing as irritating as this. The mommy's boy, usually they come in the form of maybe only children, only boys, and last born. There is a video, there's a movie, I'm going to put it in. I think the title of that movie is, it was with, oh gosh, I've forgotten the name. I'm going to find the name of the movie. I think it was with Nia Long, and she was supposed to be dating some guy who was living with his mom. It was a catastrophe, to say the least. Anyway, so mommy's boys. Mommy's boys are just a terrible version of, they don't want to grow out of being children. Mommy's boys will not clean their house, their homes. They will not tidy up after themselves. The kitchen, everything, their clothes, everything. Oh, mom has to do it, or mom will do it. Okay. In most cases, if you are lucky, he still lives with his mom in the house. See, run. You see that one? Run.
Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie. And you too, Mom.
I'm just going to leave you two alone.
I'll call you.
Or not.
Because you are never, ever going to get away from the shadow of, oh, my mom does this way. And until this person realizes that it's time to grow up, there is nothing under the sun anyone is going to be telling this person that is going to ever make sense. The mommy's boy thing is it's actually psychologically draining, and it's psychologically dangerous, okay? Because this person is growing old in the mommy's house without being conscious of the fact that, listen, I'm getting old. And another thing is they will never ever take responsibility for their actions. Never. There will always be someone to blame. But you said that it's your fault. That's what you're going to be hearing. Mommy's boys, again, are easy to spot as long as they live in their parents' house, in their mommy's house. But if he does not, and you hear the usual, but my mom does it this way, or this is how and you hear that mom thing a lot, you begin to ask very vital questions. So where is your mom right now? Does she live with you? Where, does she have you go to her often? you need to start asking those vital questions. So, for example, both of us have an issue. How is it going to, how are we going to be able to solve, or address the issues that we have? Is your mom going to be a factor? Is she going to be involved? I mean, this kind of person, you have to be very direct so that you'll be able to get, the right answer. The answer that will help you carry your slippers around. Yes. Okay. And then the next one, we're also going to be talking about the broke guys. Now, unfortunately, these ones are pretty difficult to find or locate, or rather sniff, that kind of thing. Why? Because they have dreams, they have aspirations, they have what will I call it? They have dreams, they have aspirations, they have prospects. That's the word. They have prospects. Okay? Prospect is dangerous. It's a very dangerous plan, prospect. Very, very dangerous, because prospects will keep on making them dream. That's what prospects will do. Prospects will just keep on staying in the dream world. It will be hard for us to get out of the dream, because when there is no money, they can always fall back on you. They will always fall back on you, prospector. If he's the prospect, you are prospectress. They will always fall back on you, prospectress, who is believing in his prospects. That is the problem with broke guys. I'm not saying that someone cannot be broke, but there are different types. There's a difference between a man. If you remember the movie Taraji played, Tyler Perry's movie, Taraji played, oh God, why am I forgetting these movies today? I've also done a video on that, which I will talk about. And the same thing I said in that video. In the video, the guy was a scientist. He had an invention he tried to, he was trying to market. Now, unfortunately, a lot of things broke down that relationship. He was so focused on this invention that he did not, and I faulted him. I faulted that part of it in the movie. He was so focused on his invention to bother to look for a side gig that would at least give him money and also help the morale of his wife at the time. Acrimony. Yes, that's the movie, Acrimony. They were going to help the morale of his wife while they were in that relationship, so that when eventually prospect became a reality, she was done. She was totally done. So you see, that's the thing, because a guy who knows that, okay, I've got prospects, okay, but I have dreams, but I've got to make my dreams a reality, will now focus on getting to work hard to get a job, at least, and put food on the table while you are working towards prospector and prospectress. So it's a lot of things. So when you notice that Bobo is not getting up from the couch, is sleeping, he believes that every other person's work is mega and mediocre compared to his work, pack your bag. It's time to go. It's time to go. We are not going to remain there for a long time. Now, the last one we're going to be talking about. There are two. There's one and there's, but we're going to be talking about damaged men. And in this one, I will not speak too long because I already have a very similar video on damaged men, because damaged men will always damage you. And damaged men are coming from a place of hurt. And damaged men are going to be following generational curses and actions and troubles into a new, life. So for damaged men, it also follows the same video I talked about, the ride or die form of loving, So I'm going to attach that video here as well so that you can actually, and also have a blog on it, so you can actually go on my blog and read it if you prefer. It's juliettsstyleglam.com, and then you can actually see what I wrote about damaged men and actually listen to what I talked about on damaged men, because there in this particular occasion, you cannot there must be space for the work to actually happen. There must be, space. There must be, a form of separation for the healing to actually take place. With a damaged man, you cannot be in that equation, not at all, because the person has to first of all realize he's damaged and get to work on it. So damaged men is okrika, is used goods. And the last one is serial cheaters, aka fuckboys. It was a series I was watching. It was a TV reality show. I can't remember the name. And there was this guy there. I'll look for the name and put it. There was this guy there, and in two of his relationships, he cheated. Not even just in marriages. He cheated on both, and he was, left, divorced. And then in the TV series, they asked him, and he said he was here to look for a wife, a girl, this, that, with all the, he was really, and everything. So one of the aunties there now asked him, okay, so now what if, the woman cheated on you? Because he made a statement about forgiveness or something at 100%. So he said, okay, what if the woman cheated on you? Would you be willing to, forgive and, take her back? And he said, no. Well, needless to say, he was booted off the show because no hope. I mean, that just goes to show that this person was not even willing or even ready. I mean, he was still stuck. He's looking for love, but he's still stuck in dirty habits of cheating. I also have a video on that, but that's on relationships and husband and wife, where you have a man who's a serial cheater. This person doesn't even care about how you feel. Obviously, that's the thing about serial cheaters. They don't care about how you feel. Because while he's making up with you and making love to you, he's already thinking about the next person. And while you are walking out the door, he's also saying hi to some other chick outside. So it's a total clusterfuck of no, hell no. It's a total clusterfuck of hell today. No. These people, for their own, he reached to go to ask questions. I'm sorry. And you will always know them because when you're out with them, their eyes, stray. They look. It's unfortunate, but that's just one of the things. Because I believe a lot that a man who really, 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 loves a woman, who has his focus, his eyes on only one woman, it will be hard for another lady to actually, it will be difficult for another lady to actually take his attention, that much, I mean, the eyes will just follow, not even like follow, you will just and go, man, what? Nah. So these ones, I mean, we need to go and get the generational cause of the problem. And this kind of people, unfortunately, are not going to change for you. It's a reckoning they have to do for themselves, by themselves, of their own volition. No one is going to do it for them, So these are the types of men that, in my, I would tell you, we are not gonna, not in 2021. We ain't gonna do anything with this kind of people. All right. So this brings me to the end of this video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Do you have any more, types of men that you've come across that, are not worth the trouble, or, I'd like to know. Put it in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know everything that you think. Let me know, how it relates. I mean, in today's world of dating as well, it's important that we all get to know these things, And yeah, that brings me to the end of this video today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you all so much for being here. Do not fail to subscribe. Do not fail to share this video. Do not fail to push notification button so that anytime I upload a video, you will be very, very, very aware. And of course, until I see you in my next video, thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.
Down, she's right there to turn me around, make it alright, makes me feel like I need to. She's loving me all through the night. You're my